Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucs come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division apart. Panthers, they pussycats. Falcons got bird flu. Take the Ravens and Dolphins and open up a zoo. Cause one thing's for sure, better than the Bucs, they show lane. And every day in Tampa Bay, we say fuck the Saints. We in Tampa Bay, baby. 813 going crazy. Tampa, boy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. Tell them where you from. 813 going crazy. Yeah. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. Now when I say the loose cannons, what? Do you know what I mean? I'm talking Bobby Latte, Stank Bastard, and Samurai Lee. You ain't never seen no her before, no podcast like this. These boys entertain you, then take you on road trips, go to other cities, raid and pillage, watch the Bucs kick ass. If we in the stands and fans talk shit, we gon' whoop them fans. You'll see us in the red and pewter with the white and black. Might be high, drunk as fuck, straight talking smack. If it's a home game, best believe you gon' hear this chant. It be like Buccaneers. Buccaneers. One more time. Buccaneers. We in Tampa Bay, baby. B813 going crazy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. And we in Tampa Bay, baby. B813 going crazy. This Bucs podcast be the greatest. Loose cannons blasting on them haters. Okay, when the ships departed, we gon' get retarded. Nowadays, that phrase is disregarded. I'm at a Bucs party with a loose cannons, blasting facts and keeping you laughing. You see a white dude, no shoes, oh boo, that Stank Bastard. Who's up next? The big Latino. No fake, his steak, chimichurino. Dominicano, papi latte como café, and el temprano. Something that you can feel, nothing but the real. Gonna analyze everything that happens.
What is up, Bucs Nation? It is Tuesday, January 13th, and you are watching the Loose Cannons podcast. I am your boy, the Samurai Ali, hanging out with Stank and a new co-host.
Yep.
The one, the only. You guys knew him as Uno. We know him as Rachaad. Rachaad White, former Bucs running back. Okay? Former Bucs running back. I just have him, NFL running back Rachaad White, joining us tonight as a third co-host. Before we dive in, make sure you guys remember, check us out on loosecannonslive.com, where you can watch, listen to everything Loose Cannons, as well as join our free Buccaneer community Discord. And if you so desire, you can listen to us only on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Pornhub. And before I forget, make sure you guys hit the like button and hit the subscribe button if you're new and somehow stumbled upon the greatest and worst Bucs podcast of all time. Stank! Somehow Todd Bowles is here. And he seems to be staying. All right.
He's here.
So I don't know how. But the Bucs are hiring. There's a job fair down at one Buck right now. Okay. Not just in the running back position, by the way. But we got dudes looking for positions in every possible. I mean, we're talking offensive coordinator. We're talking special teams coordinator. We finally got rid of that fucking guy. We've got a litany of defensive assistants that no longer have any names next to them. So we've got a whole load of fucking interviews going down. We can't really ask Rachaad who he prefers because I don't think it really matters, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. But you know, they're cutting guys. Guys are leaving. You know, they're
actually shut up, Stank. Hold on, we got a guest on the show. Rachaad, welcome to the fucking Loose Cannons, bro.
Did Rachaad sign the contract? Is he officially the RB1 for this podcast now?
I believe so. I mean, we've sent in the tender. It's up to his agent, who happens to be me, by the way. So I guess I just got to get the paperwork into my client's hands at this point.
We signed our first free agent.
Hell yeah. Welcome to the Loose Cannons podcast, Rachaad. You're now officially RB1 over
Welcome
here.
back to the Loose Cannons podcast.
Well, this is first time as a host.
What's good? It's so good to be back, man. How long has it been? A couple years?
No, I think didn't we recorded our
we did our
chicken
wing
wing
thing.
episode
Yeah, we did our chicken wing
last
episode
year.
or before the season
Before
started.
the season.
It was an off season, right? It was an off
Yeah,
season.
preseason. It was preseason.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's a long time still.
It was a long time.
That's a year.
Let's
But
dive.
it's good to be back, though.
Let's dive into the fun stuff right off the bat, Stank.
Yeah.
Thursday night, you and I are just chilling, mind our own business. It's almost midnight. And out of the blue, you and I both received a DM from one Josh Grizzard on Twitter. Dude slid in our DMs pretty late at night. Rachaad, I believe your former offensive coordinator, Josh Grizzard, wants to smoke. I think he wants to fight Stank in actual.
It started off with him coming at me. And I was like, this can't be real. And I had a little bit to drink that night as well. I'm assuming Josh did as well. Otherwise, why would you do that? But yeah, that was a little weird. And we had a little bit of a back and forth. And then he ghosted me. And I think he did the same to you. If it is in fact Josh Grizzard, I will say right now
But we can find out. We can find out.
Refuse to verify.
Rachaad, you know Josh well enough. Is he one of them guys? Is he out there trying to actually, like, is he one of those dudes that wants to fight?
Nah. JG ain't no fighter, man. He ain't no fighter, man. He ain't doing all that. So
you think he wants to fight me though?
Nah, man. I think JG cool. You know,
I mean, Rachaad didn't like you the first time he met you, Stank.
I know he, of course, will want to be coaching, and obviously, like, you know, we had discussed he's going to get a job, like, in some form or manner. But I mean, you know, he ain't trying to fight nobody.
You think maybe he was DMing Stank to let him know that he was still planning on calling another run on first down?
He said he wanted to clear the air with me, so you know, clearly he had some beef. Although he did say that my stuff is funny, so maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe he's a fan of the show. Maybe he's watching right now. And Josh,
I don't know.
Josh, if you're watching right now,
send us a super chat.
Send us a super chat.
Maybe you know, it's a lot of fake accounts out there too. So it could have probably been, you know, I don't know.
I mean, we found his former Duke head coach congratulating him on getting the job here. So
yeah.
On that page?
Yeah.
On the page.
Oh, okay.
Either way, whether it's fake or real, it was
there's only one way to get down to it. Like, all right, Rachaad, go ahead and call Josh.
Right now.
Call Josh right now.
This is your chance, Josh.
Oh, man.
This is your moment.
I just want.
He definitely ain't gonna come out and say, "Oh yeah,
No matter what, now that I tweeted it out, he's not gonna say anything. Yeah, and just so you know, I waited a proper amount of time. And he ghosted me on there, so I screenshot a little bit of it just to let people know that I'm interested. Josh, we could talk anytime you want.
You swipe right?
What?
Did you swipe right on him?
I don't know what that means. I'm too old. I don't know what that means.
I think that means you're down.
Oh, whatever. Rachaad, how's it feel to be free?
It's different for sure. It's different. It's, you know, you got to have a balance. You know, at first I didn't have no balance. You know, so I was, you know, kind of just going every day. Didn't know what to do with my life a little bit. Just going. You know, everybody's seen on social media and on this and on that, but I had to reel it back in and just relax and just chill and let things play a part. But man, you know, I'm happy, obviously, to be in a position to be able to kind of choose what I feel is best for my career.
Yeah.
And, you know, what's best for me at the end of the day, of course, and obviously what's best, you know, for another team that I can, like, add to them however they, you know, whatever want to see me add to them, you know.
Rachaad, is the biggest adjustment not being obligated to wear red every day?
I mean, it's not the biggest adjustment. Honestly, it's not the biggest adjustment. You know, obviously, I just think it's tough, man. Of course, you know, you get drafted, man. It all feel like it was yesterday. You know, obviously, you know, whatever. I've been reminiscing over the, you know, however long, I guess, on a lot of stuff. You know, obviously, according to everybody else, I've been reminiscing over Jaden Daniels. I mean, that's my guy, but we ain't gonna get into that. But, you know,
people assume that's where you're going. And
I
obviously,
mean, yeah, it's assumptions is going to be whatever it is. I mean, did I kind of, obviously play? Do I play into some of it on Twitter a little bit, mess around, joke around with a lot of stuff the people say and got going on? Yeah, I did, but we don't really know where I'm going. I don't really know, who want me, if they want me back, or if they would want me, as well as what I'm saying, if things line up of what's going on. So only time will tell, but it do feel good to be able to, you pick and choose and, see who really wants you, see, have conversations and see, how you will be used and things like that. And just go from there, man, for the rest of my career, how many years that is. So,
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
exciting.
I'm sure there's something to like wanting to play with, one of your best friends and, a guy you grew up with when you're in college and all that. But you also got to make sure you choose a position or a spot
Yeah,
where
for
you
sure.
get to be the bell cow, or you get to at least put your skills
See,
on display, where, that might not be with your best friend. It might not be in that scenario, right? So people
see,
like to run with that shit. But, if you think about it,
bro.
you're like, is that really the place that he's really going to get to, like, things change pretty quickly in the NFL. So
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. Like, people. Obviously, I've seen the assumptions over the past few years. I've been mad. I've been this. I actually been fine. I come from a place, regardless of what's going on, how I grew up, how everybody, most of the guys like me, they can attest how they grew up. Is obviously the best players play. It's tough when you got a loaded, roster, especially on offense like how we had. But people be like, "Oh, he want to be the RB1 or want to be Bill Cow." I mean, obviously, I'm gonna compete. I think RB1 or whatever, RB whatever it is. It, like, to me, I'm gonna just be completely honest right now, and this is not no political answer. I really don't care about it. I just, for me, feel like if I add value, if I'm a playmaker, if I'm one of them, people you respect on your team, to help your team out in whatever capacity that needs to be, whatever you feel like you need to throw me the ball, whatever I need to do, run the ball in certain plays or certain things and just like that. Well, I would just say you should respect it as that. I think my only issue I have had is obviously I felt like, yeah, for sure. And I mean, just being real is like, I was in on a lot of like dirty work, and we all know what that is. We don't got to go into that, but when I would do my thing, when I touched the ball and stuff like that, obviously, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, reciprocated or in a matter of this and like that. So I think the biggest thing about me, I wanted to clear out air on that. It's not about being the bell cow. It's not about that. I think it's, for me, it's about, I always said this too, like even early in my career, even when I chose my college and stuff like that to go to Arizona State or all the route I've been through, I think it's just understanding who could put me in position to be successful. Obviously the league is the best on best. I mean, 20, 30 touches, it sounds amazing. And even whatever people want to say, I had my best year, my second year with the whatever 1,500 scrimmage and over 1,500 scrimmage plus and whatever the 10 or so touchdowns or so. Like, I really didn't even want the ball that many times that year. I mean, I had the ball like 300 sometimes, but I always been a guy to do what I'm asked to do, as we can see. And I ain't never been a guy who caused a problem. I always wanted somebody else in the backfield with me. But you know what I'm saying? If we're going to say we're going to do the high hand thing and a guy got the high hand, let's just be a man of our word and let's just be real about it. You know what I'm saying? But if that's not what we're doing, I'm professional, I'm man enough to understand. And that's what helped me out to understand these
I mean,
past whatever year or so.
like, I'm not just saying this because you're my boy, but like anyone who's looking at this situation, you could see a scenario where you would see that player, you, for example, getting frustrated on the sidelines, getting frustrated after a game. Like, you could, like, and you wouldn't even blame that player. You'd be like, he's got a fucking good point. Like, there's frustration. And you've been professional about this shit. Like, I've never seen you slam a helmet, never seen you walk off the field unknown. Like, it always just looks like another day at the job. And so, gotta, kudos to you on that, man. And I'm sure that, you're a competitor. I think people blow that shit out of whack a lot too when people do overreact or get frustrated. It's like, these guys are trying to compete. Like, when they take who was it, AJ Brown, when he says shit after games, like, he's not talking shit to talk shit. He wants to fucking compete. I think that like runs deep through everyone who's in the NFL. You don't get that far if you're not a competitor. Even the Kyle Trasks of the world got some competitive juices in their fucking blood to get them all the way to that level, right? And he's Kyle Trask, but still, I'm sure he wants to compete.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
You know what? You asked Rachaad all the questions. I got.
I was gonna ask a question. I was gonna talk about
Rachaad. You said you've been looking back. And obviously it's been a crazy run since you've been here. You've also been through what, 4 offensive coordinators,
Yeah.
Dime Piece Dave Canales, and then Liam, and now Grizzard this last season. This season was incredibly frustrating for fans. I'm not just you. I'm sure you wanted to get out there and produce, but from just speaking offensively, where do you think it went wrong in the second half of the season after the bye? Because it just never. It felt like y'all never got your momentum back for some reason. I mean, you kind of started hot. Obviously, you had the injuries on the offensive line, and I brought it up too. Keith going down, I felt like was a
Yeah, for sure.
a
He
thing that nobody
underrated.
talks about. You ended up you ended up
They
doing
made
a lot of
Rachaad do the
work.
Keith stuff.
Right. So like, you as the X's and O's guys, and we know you're a football guy. Where do you think it went wrong for the offense?
I mean, man, it's just tough, man. To be honest with you, like it's tough, man. I ain't gonna lie. I can't. I really wish I had a handle on it or what I could say. One thing I do, I think I remember I was saying like it is hard to like. It's man. I mean, let's just be real. We got Mike, you got J Mac. I mean, you got Mike, Chris, you got Mecca, you got J Mac, you got Tez. I mean, you got guys that contribute on special teams, whatever it is, like Kim Johnson and other guys that have scored touchdowns and stuff. You could tell they kind of got some game to them. You got Bucky, me, Chef. You got Tucker who comes in to make plays. Here and there when he's asked to. I mean, when you look on paper, of course, like you're loaded, and so I don't know. I just look at it like it's hard to get. It's only one football field, man. Yeah. So it's really tough. It's really hard, and then football has a lot of egos, game, and stuff like that. And I'm not coming out here as people who try to, they clip for him and all that, and think I'm saying some people have egos and stuff like that. That's not what it is. But as I will see, I think you're trying to like kind of get everybody the ball or in the right manner or in the right way and do this and do that. And I don't think it just went as planned. I mean, we had some tough injuries for sure that go down that O-line, but I would say guys that stepped in, to me, I'm not being biased, I'm just being real. I think they, held their own a good amount of the time. I think a lot of things were just kind of tough and all over the place, man. A lot of things were just tough all over the place. Like you said, we won some big games, especially without a lot of our main guys as well. I mean, I don't know. I think probably try to just make things more complicated than what it is and what it was. I think is kind of what I would say. I think some of the guys we got to, you could just get the ball in their hands and let them, out in the space and just let them, create and let them get in the flow and the rhythm and things like that. And so that's the thing. I was talking to Bucky about it, and I was like, yeah. I was telling him, I was like, yeah, when I play with, he was asking me, I was like, yeah, when I played with Canales 2 years ago, sometimes you just start the game off with a wide pass, like a screen type pass, and he just get you the ball and, makes them shake sometimes, and sometimes you probably don't, but just getting it easy for like a pitching, and you know how they say, like pitch and catch for bait too, like not even just for the running back though, but just for bait, like sometimes it's getting some easy, completions and stuff like that. And so, I letting guys do what they do out in space. So, I mean, it was just tough. And then things just, kind of start spiraling and it just kind of got ugly. It got ugly from there, man. It got ugly from there. You could just tell. But
Rachaad, I know people don't like to use injuries as an excuse, so I'm not even going to ask you about those guys up front because I agree with you. I don't think they did all that bad. But there were moments where they obviously kind of did fall apart when they shouldn't have. I remember the Jets game. We had like 33 holding calls on one first drive of that game. It was unbelievable. But when it came to the offensive play calling, like us fans watching it, it got to a point where we were almost predicting every single time we had the ball what was going to happen. In that huddle, I don't want to get you in trouble here, so you have to answer this in a way, I guess. But like, how much of it did it seem like you guys are kind of calling the same shit over and over again, week to week, game to game, series to series, like, or does it just look like that from our perspective outward, like, or was it just kind of limited, or was that the offensive line that limited what they were calling, or was it honestly just limited play?
So I don't know. That's tough. I can't really speak for that. Like, you know what I'm saying, and what they had going on upstairs. If they felt like, you know what I'm saying, the offensive line and stuff like that made them, you know, limited or certain stuff we can do. I mean, what I could say is that, yeah. I mean, obviously in the hole, sometimes you be like, you know what I'm saying, you know, like I've been in the huddle sometimes before and be like, yeah, like, you know, like, yeah, nah, this ain't it, and but you still gotta run it. Which is tough. Like, let's just be real. But it was just not. I mean, I'm not gonna just say like last year, the first time I've ever been in that, you know, position. But you know, yeah, you know, it was just tough. I think we're trying to find our identity out. What we was really kind of good at. Also, you like y'all said too. Listen, obviously not use injury as an excuse, but it's the reality of the game, and so you shuffling guys in there, and you just, you know, whatever, trying to mix it up and do what you can. So it's tough because I'm not really upstairs. You know, I could really just say like, you know, some of the stuff is kind of like this. Some of the stuff is kind of like we missed on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? We missed on some chances, some opportunities. I mean, when you think about the league in general, like no matter who you play, it's kind of gonna be a battle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things kind of got to go your way too sometimes when it comes to like, you know, whatever, some luck, but it's going to be a battle, but it's going to be like whatever, like I would say probably like 5 or so to 6 plays, like, you know, big explosive plays that's there in the game that you got to, you know, hit on. And I would say even, you know, I understand fans feel about some play calls, things like that, but I feel like some play calls too, we just like missed on whatever it was, like, you know, whatever, a receiver and bake or this and like that and stuff like that. So, you know, it was just tough. You know what I'm saying? It was just tough. Like, do I feel like sometimes too, it could have been more simpler and, you know, dialing up more like, you know, fly and cool and creative stuff. Yeah. But also it's just, you know, it's just tough. Like, you know, I ain't no coach or no play caller.
Rachaad, you know, you've been with Baker now 3 seasons. How much freedom does he have at the line? I mean, does it change from year to year? Did Dave give him more freedom? Did Liam give him more freedom? Did Josh give him more freedom at the line to get in and out of plays? Is, you know, it's hard to tell from a fan standpoint how much Bake is doing at the line of scrimmage.
I think Bake, I think Bake he good to do it, whatever he need to do. I think Bake also just, you know, be trusting in the OC and what's going on to be able to, and that's kind of how we are as players. Like I said, I mean, you know, I mean, if you ask Bake probably if he in the huddle on some certain calls, he'd probably be like, "Oh, I probably don't feel that good about like," but understanding that that's the game, like you're probably not gonna feel good about every call, but then just be like, "Okay, I'm gonna run it to, you know, make something shake because I'm a ball player, I'm a playmaker." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Bake. I mean, but I'll say Bake, yeah, you know, he had a good amount of freedom and things like that. You know, it's also just tough. I feel like for offense too, y'all asked me to speak on that. I just feel like the biggest thing too was like, you know, whatever. We might come out and score 7 or we might this, but we get stagnant. I feel like we did a good job on offense. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all, like even driving and stuff like that. But I think our biggest problem was like inconsistency. So like we would be driving and then we'd probably have or about the 50 or from the past the 50 or we're a little bit past the 50, and then we have a play that set us back. And now you gotta, you know what I'm saying? I'd say the worst game that we didn't do good at driving, I would believe if I watched and I watched correctly, was probably Detroit. Yeah. In that first half, we was horrible. We didn't get like a first down out of the first, I don't know how many drives. Like out the gate, we didn't get the first down to keep the drive going for a while. But other than that, I would say we did a good job in a lot of games of driving, but then we have a play that set us back and then we couldn't, you know, overcompensate, you know, to gain that back or something. So now we got to punt or we got to do this or we got to do that. So I say it's tough, man. It's tough, bro.
So we all expected, man, after that, the way the season goes down there, the last 8-9 games of the season, like there's no way Todd's going to survive this. There's no way Todd's going to survive this. Guys in the past with the Bucs, the Glazers don't have a leash that's long enough when you start to kind of fall apart. We're thinking probably ain't gonna, you know, his voice probably doesn't carry like it used to in that locker room because otherwise you don't go on a skid like that. Usually you got leaders that step up. So somehow he's back. Somehow he's back. I didn't think he was coming back. I mean, I was told point blank that he was going to retire or they were going to almost basically force him to retire. But how confused, how surprised maybe are you that he's back? And can you speak to maybe a reason as to why he's back? Maybe, you know, from us looking out, from outside looking in, like we don't see enough of what you guys see. And so you guys might be like, we're not surprised Todd is back. You know, Todd does this, that, and the other, and some of this stuff that went down, it's not on Todd. And I've said that to an extent, but at the end of the season, you're like, nah, he's got to be gone. How surprised are you, Rachaad, that Todd is still the head coach of the Bucs?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy because I don't really know, like, how I'm just being real with you because I don't, I'm just, my boy asked me all these questions, the same thing, like how I feel about this or this and like that. And I tell him, no disrespect, I'd be like, tell them the truth though. It's just, I can be only real. And I'd be like, that's, not my problem, not my issue. But, I mean, before I had to sign off of Twitter because, of my actions and my PR lady telling me the truth and the real, which is okay because I got, addicted to something that wasn't gambling. But I seen, Coach, I seen Coach Bowles, the press conference he had, and he said he, obviously he was strong and confident that he did deserve a chance because, obviously what he has done and he's been in the playoffs, obviously since he's been a head coach besides this year, which I understand, rightfully so. And if you think about it, or if I hear about him saying that, I'll be like, okay, do we deserve another chance? Yeah, probably so. I do think it's tough because records are records, and I understand people throw that out there. I do think, and they got playoff records and against good teams and stuff like that. I even try to look at our playoff game, and my rookie year, okay, yeah, we got whacked by Dallas. Oh man, that was one of the worst losses. Besides I think the Rams this year overdid that one. But them are two of my worst losses ever in my football career and life. But okay, then the next year we come out, we beat the Eagles. Then we go to Detroit and we barely lose, which I really think I thought we should have won. We talked about that before. I thought we really should have won that game. We go to that NFC Championship in San Fran.
Yeah. And
then we come out the following year and we do lose against the Commanders, which is tough. That one was tough. And then obviously this year we don't make the playoffs. So, it's kind of tough. I feel like, and obviously I'm not executive on none of this. I just think you get rid of a lot of the staff. You kind of should just go ahead and, and I'm not wishing for nobody's job to get taken, but I think you should probably just, like y'all said too, though, like, just get new everything, obviously. But I do understand where they coming from and where he coming from on the aspect of probably like, yeah, another year won't be bad. Won't be a bad, I guess, chance to just see. And obviously, yeah, we know what it is and everybody know what it is with this year and what's going on with them and go from there. But get new staff. So hopefully, yeah, you can hire the right guy, which ain't easy, which is tough. But, you try to do the best you can and just see if you can go from there. I think that's the biggest thing. I'm not trying to, I know because people clip this or whatever, but it is what it is. I'm just being real. I do feel like Coach Bowles, nothing wrong with it, but I do feel like it would be easier on him if he, which, I mean, I'm speaking obviously, me speaking, but kind of obviously on his situation. But I do think he should let somebody else call defense and he just be a head coach. I do feel like he'd probably be better off by doing that, so he can focus on really just the head coaching and head coach job and just trusting. You know what I'm saying? He got the right defensive staff and things like that. When you've been a DC or even like OCs, like, when they get that head coaching job or most, offensive-minded head coaches, when they get that head coaching job, like even Sean McVay and them like that, it's kind of tough. You know what I'm saying? I understand it to give that play calling up. But I do think it would make his life more easier. That's just me speaking.
That's what I thought they would force. That's also honestly what I thought they would force, and I thought that would create a fork in the road of you either give up play calling duties and you can stay, I'm thinking they thought Todd would say, "Hell no, that's my baby, I'm not doing it." But I guess it said he still said hell no, and they let him stay. So I don't really know exactly how that played out. That's why I was so shocked.
Yeah, Rachaad, do you think having to, break in a new offensive coordinator every single year, is a lot for Todd Bowles. Like every single year, he's got a new guy in there. He's got to teach him the ropes. Got to make sure he's doing his job.
He's got to show him where the bathroom is, where the meeting rooms are.
Show him where the bathroom is, and where the thermostat is in the building. All those things.
Yeah.
Especially a guy like Josh, who's pretty green, hasn't called plays in the NFL before. It's different than hiring, a Todd Monken, who's been a offensive OC in the league forever, and then you can kind of just he's got it. And you can sit back and focus on your side of the ball. Do you think that has put a bit more stress on Todd having to do that every single offseason?
I mean, sometimes tough too. Like certain stuff he couldn't control. I mean, or I don't know how much they obviously they can control. Like Liam getting a head coaching job, you can't control that. I mean, this is what it is. Dave getting a head coaching job, you couldn't control that. I mean, obviously, so I guess obviously you got to get credit. Shit, that's how life works too. Like that's what I like to apply football to. It's really just like life, but that's what life is about, right? You get credit when you hire the right guy, and you get blamed too. You take some of the blame when you hire, the guy that don't get the job done. So that plays into a factor, but I just think I don't know. I feel what you're asking, but I don't know if that whatever. I think regardless too, like if he just hired like a DC guy that he trusts and things like that and whatever it is, and he can just focus like, all right, I could just be the head coach now. I ain't got to I could oversee a lot of things because it's tough for him as a head coach still too to oversee a lot of things. And then I have to, see defense all the time and talk to them all the time. But then I have to go in there, and, what I'm saying, maybe, or sit on offensive meetings or maybe just sit here. I think, being just the head coach, and he washed his hands like, he's been a great defensive coordinator out this league for years, all this, obviously majority of his career, and just being able like, all right, let me focus on being the head coach and let me oversee all of this. And let me, whatever, trust ain't easy, but let me have trust in the guys I picked and, and let them know we communicate, that I'm on that.
I mean, he won a Super Bowl as a defensive coordinator. He held the Chiefs to 9 points. So like at that point,
like 2 Super Bowls, right? For the DC, or am I tripping?
No, I believe with the Cardinals.
He was at the Super Bowl too with that one too.
No,
no. He played in the Super Bowl with the Washington Redskins. He got to the NFC Championship with the Cardinals though, and they lost.
They lost. Okay.
They lost. But yeah, I mean, it's like, what more does he have left to prove, right? And so at some point you got to say, this defense, the way the offense is playing the NFL, the way the NFL works, it's kind of, it's a little bit different. And, it's tough to do he's running a complex ass system on top of it. So it's like, not only is he complicating his own job, he's complicating the complications of that job at the same time, which is like, it's just unnecessary, man. It's just unnecessary. Let's shift kind of over to the offensive court. Josh Grizzard's gone. Okay. We're happy. I know it don't matter to you, but if you're still here, you'd be throwing a party. I'll speak for you. So Josh Grizzard is gone. Okay. So the Bucs have interviewed or are set to interview a handful of guys. I don't really get it because there's some guys out there that I'd be like banging the table. Go interview Mike McDaniel. Like that dude. No disrespect to A-Chain, but man, that man's job is so easy as a running back because of that guy. Like he just makes it easy. I mean, we talked about Rachaad. Like that he's catching the ball with like 5, 6, 7, 8 yards ahead of him before a linebacker's even near him. I mean, shit. Our own linebackers couldn't even catch him or find him at times in that game in Miami. So, like, that's a guy I wish we had, but people keep saying, oh, he's tied to him. They'll still get that interview. Let me just pull this up. I mean, they've interviewed the former Titans head coach, Brian Callahan. Yeah, I get he's tied to the Bengals. He was there and they were throwing the ball everywhere, scoring points, going to Super Bowls, going to AFC championship games. But he didn't look that good when he was a Titan head coach / play caller. David Shaw, Lions pass game coordinator. That's the dude from Stanford. No thanks. Israel Woolfork. Never even fucking heard of this guy. Cardinals quarterbacks coach. No disrespect to, what's his name, but come on. Anybody who saw those quarterbacks play ball, no thanks. And then you got the name I actually don't mind, Zach Robinson, Falcons offensive coordinator, comes over here with Liam. He's connected to McVay. Him and Baker have a connection. It makes sense. And he kind of did figure some shit out there at the end of the season. Then you got Mike Kafka, Giants interim head coach. No thanks. Not interested in that whatsoever. And then the guy that Stank fucking loves for some reason, Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator, who, listen, he's been here. He's the oldest guy of the bunch. I'm not a big fan of getting these old guys in here. We already got a ton of old guys. But I will say this, Stank. The dude had a Hall of Fame running back and a 2 or 3-time MVP and couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Like, you know,
they had top 10 offense the last 3 seasons.
He had McDaniel as his, or not McDaniel, McDonald as a defensive coordinator too. On top of that, and they still couldn't get to a Super Bowl. And I'm not saying it's all him, but come on,
Rachaad, you're the GM. Who are you hiring as our offensive coordinator?
I'm the GM. I'm Jason.
You're Jason. Who are you hiring right now?
You're Jason White. You're Jason White.
I'm Jason White right now. Jason White.
You're Jason White.
Jason White. Out of all them guys, probably.
Yeah. I mean, McDaniel's on that list of options for you to hire.
Yeah, it's true.
I'll probably hire. Looking at, and that's the thing too, because like Mike, I don't know what Mike gonna do. I'm not gonna just sit here and speak out of terms because people, like I said, the clip
Let's
this.
just assume for the
It'll be everything. If Mike gone, right? Let's just say Mike gone because that's a real possibility. You got J Mac, Chris. That's still good as hell. They're nice. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. J Mac, I call him Mac. J Mac, Chris.
Oh, I thought you said J Mac.
Tez, yeah. Obviously, every year you probably draft a wide receiver at some point. You got Buck. Obviously, I don't know who the other guy be, but I say probably I ain't gonna lie, I didn't think Robinson was bad, man.
Zach?
I thought he got Bijan the ball in the right spots.
We did.
I thought he got Drake. I thought he got their best players. I mean,
that's because you got to see him
too.
That's because you only got to see him play against us, where all of a sudden the Atlanta Falcons look like the fucking St. Louis Rams, the greatest show on turf.
It's like. I mean, I seen Zach with a lot of other situations, a lot of stuff too. I mean, I look at it all. To be honest with you, I'm just be honest, and then how they and obviously how I'm advocating for him is too because I'm rooting for Buck. Obviously, how they regardless of what people want to say, right? They don't like each other. Oh, he mad because Buck this. Nah, I really want Bucky to be great and have a great career. Just to be honest with you. To see how he used like his players and his guys, bro, I really think that'd be, a good fit, man. I do. I just be honest with you, bro. Like I just think too with Baker. No disrespect, I think Baker obviously, and Penix or Kirk Cousins, they can feel however they want to feel about this. I mean, or I'm just saying what's real in my opinion. Just like they probably believe a lot of running backs is better than me. It is what it is. I think Baker obviously is better than them.
Agree.
On the record, I like it.
I like how you call him Penix too, because
that's what we call
him around. That's what we call him around here too.
Penix.
I do. Yeah, I think Baker is better than him. I mean, I think he'd do well over here, man. He's young. He come from that McVay tree. He put guys in different positions that'll help them actually win, like succeed and stuff like that.
He's the one.
Get guys the ball in the right spot. So I actually I do like him. I mean, Monken. I'm not knocking Monken. He probably be my second choice. I like him. I really like Monken a lot because I hear he got that dog in him, that fire in him. I heard he's different. Like even though he old, I hear he like be out there. A lot of dudes told me, and we had a couple guys come over this year from Baltimore that I became really cool with on our team. Owen and my boy Pepe. They said Monken, he talked that talk and he walked that walk. So I understand.
My thing is, Rachaad, if I'm gonna hire an OC this year and he does well, I have to assume that he might do well. I need a guy that I can elevate to my head coach, and he's gonna be here for 5 to 10 years. And no disrespect to Monken, but Monken's 70. All right, his grandkids about to start having kids. Enough is enough with the old 70. Guys.
But you
he's
said
almost
that's
70.
You here as you the Glazers. You trying to hire somebody that can be next up
But I think Zach Robinson can be successful and has head coach feels
that can
about
be
him.
next up.
He's got the vibe.
But why do you want to hire in house? What makes you want to hire in house though?
I'll tell you exactly what
because
it is.
of what
Rashad,
we've gone through over and over and over again.
Rashad, you whether you know this or not.
But you think in-house is like the best hire because of what you've gone through over and over again?
Rashad, it's because of what happened with Liam. 100%. That's why Bucs fans are absolutely obsessed with the idea that we have to groom our next coach in-house because of what happened with Liam. Everybody,
I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to. But if I'm going to hire an OC,
I don't think so. I think you could just hire kind of a right guy.
I just don't want to keep changing the offense for my quarterback and for my like finally like I found lots of holes and complaints, no problem with what Liam did, and then obviously what he did when he decided to leave. Right? No, I'm saying his play calling. But when it came to his you're like, damn, dude, he brought us all the way up here. Now you got to start way the fuck all over again. And you're like, we kind of did have, even if you only did it for 1 year. So my mind is thinking, all right, if our next offensive coordinator does that again, you can't just keep flipping that and just hoping that it keeps working. If you got a guy that could be a head coach and he actually does make the offense work, then yeah, you make that hire in house. I don't say you have to do it. I mean, look, we got the Texans. They're fucking dominating in the playoffs. They have a defensive minded head coach, right? And he's going to have to flip his offensive coordinator at some point too. But I just feel like if you're going to hire an offensive coordinator this offseason and you kind of think, Todd Bowles almost got fired. They called John Harbaugh. That doesn't mean he's 100% sitting pretty. You got to think, man, if we get that guy and he is good and he's not a piece of shit, we got to keep him. We got to keep him at all costs. We did it twice already. So
yeah, Rachaad, you are in the unique position to speak
who are all the head coaches? Who are all the defensive head coaches right now?
I mean, I think I count them.
Well, it's 19. It's 19.
There's nine head coaching spots available now.
Okay.
Rachaad, how frustrating, because you hear news media talk about it all the time, fans talk about it all the time. And I said it before, you've been in 4 different offenses, 4 different offensive coordinators, and Grizzard was a continuity hire, right? They wanted to try to keep what Liam had going last year and bring Grizz into that seat to hope that he could keep that momentum going. How tough is it as a running back, as a starter in this league, to learn a new system, learn a new guy, and then there's got to be differences, right? It's like if I'm a chef and you're a chef, and I give you the same ingredients Liam had, that doesn't mean you're going to use them the same way.
I feel like though, like it wasn't hard at all going from Dave to Liam, even to Grizz, because I mean they all kind of, but I mean, I would say like Grizz and stuff, they try to run the same stuff. So like the terminology was just a little different in certain like aspects, but it's kind of all, like a stick, the stick concept is a stick concept, but it's, just going to be called different, like whatever it is, 4 verts. The same concept with the back got a check option. Like that's all this, what I'm saying? It's just called different terminology. So I think it wasn't necessarily different now. I think the biggest thing obviously is just a feel for the game and know how to call it.
Right.
Now, obviously Lim was a play caller before. So I mean, and Dave wasn't a play caller at all before. I mean, been around it. Great quarterback coach. I mean, obviously, we could see, even though you say RIP, whatever to him, he gets respect, quarterback coach. But, and Grizz, no disrespect to him, but was Grizz. So,
that's crazy.
I would just say the biggest thing, though, was that what made Lim different and why we shot up, because his feel for the game and his understanding, because he was a play caller before, was different than any other guys.
Right.
Dave was average in the bunch because it was his first time play calling, just like that. See, that's another thing I would say. Like, if Dave would have came back, I just told Simmer this. I think the second, I got that Carolina job, and he would have came back, and Lim would have not been there or whatever, we would have had Dave another year. I believe our statistics stacks would have been better that second year of him play calling than it was, what I'm saying, that first year.
Right.
Because he got a good feel and understanding for it.
And he got a little bit uglier too the second year too.
Yeah, for sure, right? And then obviously too, he got a lot better in the playoffs and stuff too. Like he started dialing up better, and then all the weapons we would have had and stuff like that would have made it even more better for him. But so I wouldn't say it's like to me crazy. No, that's the only big difference. It is just understanding of how to play, how to call plays and when to call plays and have a feel for the game. I think as a play caller, you got to have a feel. And I think that's what make all the other guys like great, like whatever the great coaches and OCs or the great play callers that y'all love, like whatever the Shanahans and all them, like they got a great feel for the game. They understand, you know what I'm saying?
I mean,
Yeah,
if we're talking about
the
field,
chess match.
But like for example, like to me, it's nothing wrong with I mean, like I get what y'all saying. It is tough, but I look at it's D'Amico is successful. McDermott, even with that defense and how they give up booty and rushing.
And McDonald up in
they
Seattle.
Successful.
Seattle.
McDonald is successful.
But those guys are all about to lose their offensive coordinators.
Probably so, right? Because it ain't a lot of
And we saw the Lions. They had a good defensive coordinator, good offensive coordinator. They lost both coordinators.
I don't think D'Amico's going to lose his though.
Okay. That guy, Kaylee's going to be a head coach in the next 2 years, man. I promise you. He's got that fire, man. He's got it. Talking to the same tree, the guy that I want is Nate Scheelhaas. I call him that on purpose. But that dude has play calling experience back in college. He's been drawing plays for McVay now for 2 years. Like that guy, and his name's all of a sudden going from, I don't think he's pass game coordinator, all the way up to head coach interviews now because he's been the hot name inside those circles. And I know for a fact the Bucs like him, so it's a little weird that they haven't interviewed him yet. And I think they can't interview coordinators before the 19th or something like that when they're only being interviewed for other coordinator jobs. I think that's something. So that I have a feeling that like the Browns and shit like that, they're interviewing this guy as a head coach just to interview him and see what he's about. The Bucs do know him. That's the guy I want. I want him because I know he could be a head coach. He's got fucking ridiculous experience in college. Everyone who knows him. Everybody who knows him says he's a fucking absolute savant.
But Rachaad just spent.
I get it. I'm just saying, man.
He just said there and told you the guy can be smart. He can be.
No. I'm not. I know. I'm not talking about the smart side. People are saying he's got the head coach vibe. That's you know what? Maybe they're not looking for that. Maybe like you say, maybe they don't want to hire from within anymore.
No, what I'm saying is the guy has no experience. We don't know if he's.
But he does. He called it in college. He does have experience.
A head coach. Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. I mean, Liam, look, people.
What's the head coach vibe? What's the head coach vibe? Give me some head coach's vibe.
Sorry, I mean, you see me with my kids. Yeah, you see me with my kids, Rachaad. That's a head coach vibe. No, I'm saying
in the league. Give me
that's head coach vibe. I mean, right now, Rachaad, if I was OC of the Bucs, would you come back? I mean, the answer is yes. It's pretty obvious.
I mean, yeah.
It's fucked up, man.
But
I think that was a yes.
I think that was a yes. Yeah, I think he just want to hurt Grizzard's feelings. That's what that was. I get that.
Listen, Sammer OC. I could be the get back coach. I'm a natural. I've been telling people to get back my whole life.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody out there is getting a penalty for being where they're not supposed to be. If I'm on that sideline, and no matter where you go, by the way, hook me up, give me a job. I feel like I'm about to be 50.
Yeah.
In March, I feel like I need a new career path, and I'm expecting you to find me a job.
You told him that you like fat running backs.
I do like fat running backs. I told him before, and I feel like
you like small running backs.
No, I personally like fat running backs, and I feel like if you were a little fatter, maybe Grizzard would have given you the ball.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm just saying. Like Jerome Bettis. I feel like you got the frame for that body.
No, I don't need to get. You've been mentioning Jerome Bettis since I've been in Tampa. I do not need to be that. But and shout out, obviously he's a legend. But I'm good on that.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, head coach vibe and feel. I mean, just because you feel like you heard that, yeah, like Stain said, you kind of never know. I look at this look at the head coach. So look at the stuff we talk about, right? That's why I say I look at all this as life, right? It's all just a risk.
Yeah.
You really don't never know. We're gonna pan out. You probably can like a guy or feel like he can, but you still don't ever know. He might not. He might like this. That's what life is about, right? We all take risks every day. We all taking risks just like that. But I feel like let's see. Let me ask y'all something, right? Well, I'm here. Let me see. So it's 9 openers. How many offensive guys is going to get hired? Y'all think? Give me a number, because I know y'all probably talk about this or think like this. How many offensive guys out of 9 teams is it going to be at least like 6, or y'all going 5?
I think it always ends up being 50-50. I think what happens is teams who have a defensive coach go the opposite direction, and teams who have the offensive coach go the opposite direction. And I think if you look at not always, but most of the time, and then the teams that are looking to draft a young quarterback, teams that are
special teams coach.
Sometimes, I think John Harbaugh is like the most recent
Harbaugh's
special teams coach. But I think most of the time too, if you're drafting a young quarterback and you have an opportunity to hire a coach right before that happens, most of the time those guys seem to lean towards getting an offensive guy, because they're thinking, all right, he could develop the quarterback. He's also a leader of the team. We keep him together for a little bit longer. Continuity, that whole thing. That's what the Titans did, and they ended up fucking firing the guy a year and a half in. So it doesn't mean it's always going to work. I agree, but I feel like it just depends. If you look at the teams that are going to be drafting a quarterback, they're probably going to be. They're probably going to take an offense. Yeah, they're probably going to get an offensive head coach. So I would say the Raiders are going offensive head coach. That's just my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it's no secret who they probably finna draft. So
yeah, so then you want to try to pair that guy. You don't want him. You don't want an offensive coordinator that comes in there, does his job, and now he's gone. And your quarterback's starting over, a la Jameis Winston or Baker Mayfield or any. I mean, you could name quarterbacks for ages who've been drafted and their offensive coordinators are gone. And they start all over, and it hinders their growth. But I think it's 50-50, man. I don't think it's ever going to be one size fits all. Like you said, D'Amico Ryan. I'd take D'Amico in a heartbeat. And put any offensive coordinator in there, because you know his defense is going to stop people. So it won't even really matter if they struggle. If you put his defense with Josh Grizzard calling plays, I would bet we would have won 10 games, even with Josh Grizzard. So
the problem is there's not 9 head coach worthy guys out there.
That's what's going to be hard.
Yeah, the problem is, so you're going to have to.
You got to take a lot of risks. This coaching class is going to take a lot of risks.
Or they're going to go back to the old fucks like McCarthy and guys like that. Go ahead, Stink.
I was going to say, I don't necessarily think Tom's going to.
Nah, they need to change that.
To hire offensive coach. I mean, you know, he played under Belichick. I'm sure he doesn't.
He's not the one hiring him. He's just an advisor, man. That's Spytek's job, bro. That's our guy.
Spytek and stuff. They buddies, man. They buddies, so they gonna do that together.
Mm-hmm.
Were they classmates or something? I just figured that. I just found that out.
Yeah,
when I was before I got kicked off of Twitter. Before I got banned off of Twitter. Yeah, I just found out that
they were Michigan men together. They were Michigan men together. Is that what they call them, Stink? Michigan men?
I guess so.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's crazy. But yeah, so they probably they're gonna go for sure. But that, I mean, if you're gonna take a quarterback, I mean, you probably do something that makes sense. But it's tough, man. It's tough.
I gotta ask you this,
Rachaad, who you got Monday night? Miami or Indiana?
You know.
Oh, college
football. I'm rocking with Stick. What's he called? Signetti. Stick.
Oh,
Signetti.
The dude who never smiles.
Yeah, I like it. He be on the sideline like this.
Yeah, he's just straight up angry. You think a guy like that could transition into being an NFL head coach? Because it doesn't often happen.
That's what they be saying. That's what they saying right now, huh? That's what they trying to push for.
I don't appreciate people making fun of him. The fact he's mad at his players when they're up 50 points. You should see ask Kobe.
I don't think that he's just necessarily mad. I just think he wanna. I actually like Signetti because he's like, he try to put that, he's putting that dagger through your heart.
You like playing for like a ball busting type coach like that? Somebody who
I just like a guy that don't take that foot off that gas. I don't care how much you up. Like let's go ahead. Let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's not just let's try to run the ball type. Nah, let's go.
You mean like the Atlanta game when we were up and then we took our foot off the gas and we gave them trying to get conservative and then we gave
trying to get him banned. You're trying to get him banned from going on podcasts.
I got PTSD.
And that is just I thought we should have run the ball a little bit. We didn't run the ball at all. But you talking about that last drive? Oh yeah, that's ugly. Come on, man. Come on. But I thought you were talking about the couple drives before that when we was up 28 to whatever it was by 2 scores and we didn't run the ball for a minute. But yeah, I thought we should have run the ball then. That's just being real. But no, I like a coach. Yeah, see, because then you get in that Green Bay situation, man, and it's ugly. And it's ugly, man.
You know what else happened, Stank? We fired our special teams coordinator. And we interviewed one guy. We interviewed one guy so far for that position. I'm not sure why. Just one guy, the Lions assistant special teams coach of some sort. Rachaad, I got to ask you, man, how shitty was it staying on the sidelines every single week watching our kicker kick the ball short of the end zone and just knowing your defense had to go guard somebody at the 50-yard line every fucking time?
Say anything.
Right, I mean, the crazy part is I just don't. I mean, I be trying to tell you the truth, bro. I just mind my business. I just do my job, bro. That's just the truth. I just do my job. Like, I don't even be.
You tell me you didn't go up to what's his name and be like, hey man, just kick it to the fucking end zone, dog, please.
I didn't go up to none of that. I didn't do none of that. I just be like, I just look at the scoreboard like, well, all right, come on, we got to go. We got to do our job.
When's the last time you played on teams?
Washington. That's when I did that kick return. I did kick return a little bit because I was trying to touch the ball because at the end of that season, I got iced out.
I remember saying that to Stank too when you got the kick.
Yeah, I got iced out. Yeah, I got iced out. So I had to. Yeah, for sure. So I was just trying to make a play because I got iced out at the end of that. Yeah, they ended in my third year. Oh, snaps. And I didn't go about things right. You know, as a man, I could be honest, obviously, and honestly, yeah, but Bucky was killing and stuff like that, and I didn't go about things right. I didn't go about things all the way right, and I had bad luck and bad juju. I seen one fan on Twitter before I got off of there. He said, "I ain't forget you lost us that Cowboys game." Hey, I didn't forget it either, bro. I won't ever forget it, bro. I still have nightmares about that, bro. You know, I still be wishing I could have did things differently, all that. I thought I was going to help save the day, and then next thing you know, bro made a hell of a play. I commend him on that. A hell of a play. A hell of a takeover. But, I didn't go about things right, but I got iced out, and, you know, that's how they felt. But I just try to make sure, like obviously coming in this year and stuff like that, I just did things and move right and be a professional regardless of what's going on and regardless of what it was. So that's why I got into the mindset of like, even when it comes to like other guys and things like that, you get burnt DB or you get this, I just be like, I gotta do this shit. I gotta do my job.
I like that.
Make sure I do my job, bro.
I remember that Cowboys game. I don't remember it for maybe what you're talking about, but I remember that play because you talked to my son a couple of days after that, who was going through some shit with his basketball stuff, and you told him you used that as an example, and he remembers that shit to this day. Like that. That was important.
That one hurt me, and what I learned from that too. That one helped change my perspective to be able to handle stuff how I need to handle it and be a professional how I need to be a professional because. I really felt like God was really teaching me a lesson with that one because my energy, everything, like I said, I wasn't handling things right and how I should, regardless of what it is. Like you said, I'm a competitor for sure, but like for a prime example, hey, AJ Brown, I'm a huge fan, but that bad energy, that bad body language, that bad juju, stuff like that, that's what happens. You know, I'm just being honest. I can attest to that. When that bad, you know what I'm saying? Of course, we competitors in the heat of the moment. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. You know, we might OBJ, crank the thing, and it might crank us back. You know what I'm saying? Hit the kicker's net, and it might hit us back. But you know, if the kicker net ever hits you back, just know that's God telling you to get your stuff together, man. Get your stuff together, man. Get your body language and stuff right, bro. Because that shit, you know, bad things happen when shit like that happen. You know, that's what I really learned from that Cowboys game and that play.
That's a maturity. You're always going to learn from the good and the bad, especially in a game like you play where the stakes are so high and everything is under a microscope, and you got weirdo fans like us who obsess over it and talk about it 24/7 and come at you. You know, it's you know, I know it's a blessing to be in that spot, but. It's still your real
Jerome
life.
Bettis didn't have to deal with Twitter people.
No, bro, at all. None of them did, huh? None of them had.
Social media.
But what I was going to say, too, man, because I'm going to get off of here. But look, another thing I got to say, obviously, I don't know what's happening. It's a lot of speculation going on out there. I could be in the Bucs uniform. I can't be. I don't know. You know, that ain't up to me. That's up to God. But look, what I am going to say, no matter what it is, y'all are diehard fans. Now, the other diehard fans that be on Twitter talking all their stuff, but whatever, the super chat, whoever's in the chat, whoever going to watch this on YouTube, whatever it is, I'm going to just give y'all some real stuff. Right. Man, please stop letting other teams come in that home stadium regardless if I'm not there or not, and take over that stadium like that, bro. That's just horrible. That's not.
Wow.
So it's like when y'all talk on Twitter and all that, we just laugh because we can't even respect some of y'all because we don't even feel like y'all real fans because y'all just let the other team come in no matter who it is. I seen a lot of Jets fans in there. Like, come on, man, they gonna win a game.
Mm.
So like, you feel me? No disrespect at that time, but I don't think they did. But you feel me? Like, y'all be popping all that, and y'all want these culture changes, y'all want all that, and y'all want all that, but or players are just like that. But y'all not even in there to really see what's to that. And to a lot of them fans too. Some of y'all don't even watch the game. Y'all just be talking, going off of stats.
Rachaad, one time Stank missed a game for his grandson's birthday. I beat the shit out of him for 4 straight days. I put him in a basement and we just took baseball bats to this guy's body and ribs and you don't miss games. But Rachaad, before you leave though, I gotta ask you, man, because you played with Levante. How was it playing with a fucking legend like Levante David? You were here from the first year in the NFL till now. You've had Levante David in your locker room. Speak to that and maybe give him some flowers because this may have been the last time we're going to see him in Red Pewter, man.
May have been. No, this is the last time. But
I don't want to hear that.
Man, shout out to Tay. Hell of a career, man. Hell of a career. I look back at it. I be talking to my boys about this all the time. My little circle that I got on close to it, man. Hall of Fame, first ballot to me, career. Yep. Obviously, it's tough, and this is what I'm talking about with the fans and in the market and all that. If he was real fans, he would probably have more Pro Bowls than he had, just stuff like that. Because a lot of y'all, it's dedicated a lot off of fan voting. But first ballot still to me, no matter what. Everything he has done in his career, you look at his stats, they just speak for itself. In that range. But when I talk about leader, man, ultimate leader, man, something about them linebackers, man, because I was around Ray because he's from Lakeland. I think this past offseason, so I was talking to Ray. I was up in Lakeland messing with Ray Lewis, and I said, man, our linebackers, man, y'all know how to give a good pep talk, man. Y'all had dudes ready to run through a brick wall. I say, Tay get the same pep talk you be giving. But man, a hell of a leader, hell of a player. It was an honor to play with him. For sure, underrated, underappreciated, and I mean that's even Mike as well too. I'm not saying Mike is gone, so y'all don't clip this. I don't really know, but
you alluded to it earlier that he might be gone.
But
it scared me.
Nah, I don't know. It's up in the air, right? But yeah, man, just greatness, man. And it was an honor for sure. I would say that for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. But I think both of them, first ballot, they deserve it, man. They put on for the city. They put on for that city.
He ever pull you to the side and give you some advice?
Yeah. I think I remember talking to him a little while ago, like one of the last 2 games and shit. He told me he just told me keep going. So everything gonna work out for you. Just keep going. That's the thing I could tell you. Just keep going. Yeah, and so that's the biggest thing that I live by.
A lot of losing and a lot of bad football teams.
Oh, trust me. He let that be known. A lot of them pep talks.
He got to climb to the mountaintop and win the ring, man. Nobody deserves it more. And the fact that he landed on the same number as Derrick Brooks, I felt like that's just That's poetry. It's crazy that you land on that same exact number and that's the way you get to walk away. To me, it's like a stamp to show you like that's how good he was.
For sure, man. And one more thing I want to say too, man, though, at the end of the day, I might have been trolling, might have not been trolling. Who knows, right? This world is crazy now with the internet. We just all have fun on there. We all just say what we want to say. Mm-hmm. But I do appreciate Tampa, man, a lot. Obviously, took me in, took my girls in, my daughters and all that, man. Y'all showed me a lot of love. Some of y'all showed me a lot of hate, but it was some love still in that hate. That's just how I go. And I do want to say I appreciate y'all. I appreciate, everything about the city, man. I do appreciate, obviously all the fans that was, really there. And it's just a lot of love, man. And no matter what it is, I know some fans was on my head about like, just chill out, bro. We know just like that. It's not about we know about what we don't know. It's just more about like understanding sometimes like change and things come to an end, people. It hit different for certain people, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to say that though too. Like I hope people don't think I didn't, no knock about it. And trust me, I wish this organization and I wish, my teammates said I had nothing but the best, and they know it's all love.
Stank, you want to apologize to Rachaad before we end the show?
I'm sorry, Rachaad. I'm sorry that I wasn't good enough to get this fan base where it needed to be. But I felt like you inspired me, all right? Because I gave up on them this season. I gave up on the fans. I do. They need to be better. I need to be better. And sometimes I need to hear it too. So you know what? I appreciate that.
Of course. Hopefully, I could turn into Jerome Bettis on another team. I know that hurt you, but at least you'll still be happy that I eventually turned into Jerome Bettis.
Yeah. You know what? That's fine, bro. If I see you come out and you're about 30 pounds overweight, out there making it move, I'll be proud. I'll know that I inspired that.
And it's Leonard Fournette. No, I'm just fucking with y'all.
Oh my God.
Appreciate y'all, man, for having me, man. I'm gone.
Thank you, Rachaad. Can't believe you said that shit, dude. That was fucking good.
That's amazing. That is fucking amazing.
That was pretty funny. Yeah.
Shout out to thick old Lenny. I wonder where he's at right now. Actually, you know what? I saw him in Water Street not too long ago. He's still here in Tampa.
Hey man, how about that change of the screen there, just going straight right into it? That's pretty dope right there. Just going 2 box.
Yes, professional program. Professional fucking program. Well, there it is. There it is, guys. We had some super chats that Rachaad's not going to get to hear, but we appreciate the donations. Vix, you wanna go ahead and read them?
I was trying my best not to interrupt you guys. But the crew captain had asked Rachaad, what are your priorities in finding new team?
He kind of touched on that on his own at the very
yeah. He really did. And then also we had from Cali Bucs, $4.99 super chat. Bucs fans show up when the team comes to California. Only old people live in Tampa Bay.
Wow. I feel like that was a shot.
I think that was geared towar's you, I believe.
Yeah, it's everything he does is a shot at me. And you know what? That's fine, bro. You like trying to abuse an old man. You know what? That's cool. I would say save that money for your light bill, all right? Because I know it gets shut off every couple months. All right. But I appreciate the $4.99. I do.
Do we need to unpack what we just went through here, or just end the show?
I think it's extremely brave for Rachaad to come on and talk some shit, especially since right now
he wasn't really talking shit. He was just talking.
He's unemployed. He's unemployed.
Nah, technically he's still a Buck until the league year ends. So actually,
okay.
He's still a Buck. But yeah, but you never know, man. I mean, you never know. A different offensive coordinator, a different view on it. You never know. He was right. I don't think he was bullshitting that just to be like, that wasn't a PR thing. You really don't know. If things change and it looks like a situation is going to be drastically different than it's been, you never know. I might be like, Rachaad, let's think about this. And we'll go from there.
I mean, personally, I kind of feel like he vindicated a lot of what Bucs fans have felt. It was clearly the recipe wasn't hitting this year. And we week in and week out, we're just banging the drum that the play calling isn't good enough, and
isn't it funny what he said?
The rhythm isn't there.
Isn't it funny that he said, I didn't expect that at all. The perspective of the players who see how passionate these guys pretend to be, I guess their perspective is that Bucs fans aren't as passionate as they pretend to be on Twitter, because when it comes to game time, the stands are half empty, right?
Yes.
Or they're full of the other team. So I did not expect him to say that. And I never once looked at it that way of yeah, these guys are out here talking shit about us, but they don't even fucking show up to the games. And even the players who are in the community feel that their own fans are flaky. That's not
because we are. Because
I agree.
This fan base.
That's shitty to hear, dude.
Yeah, this fan base.
Imagine playing for that. Imagine going out there playing in the stadium where you don't even feel like the. Yeah, I will say I feel like, and I complain a lot about offensive coordinators. That's just what I do, man. But I rarely really complain too much about the players themselves, except for Kate Otten. He can go fuck himself. But imagine it feels like most of our fan base just wants to hate our players more than love them. They are waiting for a reason to hate our players, right? I mean, any one of them. Pick any edge rusher we've drafted in the last 10 years. there is more hate for that human being from almost the first day.
I think that's sports in general these days, man.
Maybe.
Like it's just you see it if you follow anybody else who follows other teams, it's the same hot garbage. You got people out there.
But I don't think it's been like that
players.
historically. Like the Steelers fans, I don't think Steelers fans are trying to find reasons to tear down their guys. Like I respect those fans. I hate to say it, but I respect those. I respect the shit out of Bears fans. Those fuckers are there no matter what, and they don't win shit, dude. And they haven't won shit in
We
forever.
talk about those legacy. Now that we've traveled a lot and gone to all these opposing stadiums, and you got these legacy teams, but Seattle's not a legacy fucking stadium or team. They came in the league the same time we did.
Unbelievable environment.
Their fan base shits on our fan base.
Unbelievable.
Literally shits on our fucking fan base. And it is an embarrassment. And you're right. For Rachaad to that's one of his parting sentiments to this team in this town is to say it kind of sucks when you look into the crowd and you see, the stadium being taken over by the opposing fans. Yeah, that's gotta suck. It's gotta suck. And I get it. He's got a job to do and go out there, but you want your crowd to be a part of it. You want that 12th man. We don't have that here. I don't know that we'll ever have that here. I just don't. I mean, even when Tom was here,
yeah, but
it wasn't like that necessarily.
Even when we made those runs in '99 and then the Super Bowl year in 2002, it still wasn't like, other than that San Francisco game, it really wasn't that. It's never been this like rabid fan base, which like you would think it would be. We have Gasparilla. It's a pirate-based theme for the actual team itself. We got a fucking pirate ship in the goddamn stadium. You would think it would just bring out the crazy pirate, vibe and energy out of people. But what you see in, what used to be the black hole in Oakland, right, with the Raiders and shit, you don't feel that. I've always wondered that. Going back to when I was a kid, I was like, why don't we have that? Why is that not a thing here?
It's Tampa.
Is it too hot? Is it too hot?
No, it's Tampa in general. I mean, Miami's not a great sports town either. Maybe it's a Florida thing. Jacksonville showed up heavy for their
they got swimming pools in their stadium just to get people to come out there, which is wild. They just have one kid in there swimming the other day during the playoff game.
But that is literally a dog shit town too. Like there's really nothing else to do in Jacksonville. It's just a bad city. Everything about it. I've been there several times. There's nothing good about this city. Food isn't good. It stinks. It smells like fish dick out there. I just don't like it. I don't like it. So, but their fans showed up. Their fans did more than we've done here recently, and I feel like in some way we've become spoiled. This fan base is full of a bunch of spoiled little bitches. So
I think most of it is the fact that some of these people are from other states, and so they come here and they have these. A good amount of them have these built-in family allegiances to the Bears, Packers, Lions. Most teams from Ohio for some fucking reason. Half of Florida's from Ohio, seemingly. So I think a lot of that plays into it. Buffalo Bills fans who live here who are Tampa fans, as long as they're not playing the Bills, that kind of shit. Like, and then we have that 10-year span where we didn't win shit. I'm so happy my kids were not born during that. I mean, Kobe was, but he wasn't old enough to be a football fan yet. So they've gotten to grow into what has been a good scenario as a fan. But imagine you're like 12 years old, you starting to watch football, you're getting into it, and your team is fucking 1-15 every fucking year. Like, that is tough, dude. And you convince a kid, you got to root for this team, because I do. Because, like, you're fucking crazy, Dad. I'm going to go fucking root for the Chiefs.
Well, I can speak to that personally. I grew up a fan because I had a connection with the team early on, and my dad took me to games, but none of my friends growing up were Bucs fans. They did not give a shit. When I got free tickets, and I got a lot of free tickets growing up, it was hard for me to find anybody my
somebody
age
to go with you
to go to the game. They did not want to go to the fucking game.
Stank. I grew up.
We lost generations of young fans in this city.
I grew up in Sarasota, and until a year before I started this podcast, I didn't really know Bucs fans. I didn't really have any Bucs fans as friends. I had my brothers. And maybe like one guy who worked with my brother, and that was about it. Like there was that's crazy. And Sarasota's not that far from Tampa, so it's wild.
Well, we had a really shitty ownership group for the first half of this franchise's history, and the Glazers built a cool stadium and everything like that, but I don't even think they do enough to build their brand. And
I mean, they should be handing out
and-
Boss T-shirts at every home game.
No, it's just culturally, it doesn't feel like they do enough in Tampa. They don't. Like it's just the vibe in the stadium. They don't embrace the Tampa culture very, very well. You know, they, like you said, they could really lean into the Gasparilla theme. And I think that'll get a lot more fans out there. The in-game experience, fucking awful. You know, it's a cool stadium. They need to do more in the next stadium. I'm sure eventually when they build one,
It's coming
maybe
soon.
maybe do some stuff differently. But I don't know, man. Yeah,
You
it's
know-
coming soon. And you know what's crazy? And nobody's really talked about it. The Glazers, the fucking Rays potentially, I heard that, you know, are really considering that HCC property across from where Raymond James is. You could see plans for a
massive little sports
metroplex type of fucking thing where the Glazers then say, all right, we need to start planning to piggyback off of this new baseball stadium that's going to be over here. And, you know,
I know it'll never happen because they're an entire family, but there are other families who are, you know, NFL ownership families right now in the NFL, who have brought in buying groups and elevated their, you know, their ownership group and brand. But I think the Bucs would benefit from a new set of, even if just like a, you know, a minority owner comes in, injects it with a bunch of money and ideas, and just building an actual like culture around the team, which what they initially started with before it all went downhill, and you know, the Culver House era and all that bullshit. But they do, I think they need some of that. They need these guys to come in or just reinvigorate the entire program from the community outward. And not to say that the Glazers don't do that, but like, look what the Washington Commanders have. They have all this energy around them. Like the ownership is like, fuck it. We just want to win. Whatever we got to do to win. We'll build stadiums. Who gives a shit? We're not going to ask the taxpayers. We got billions of fucking dollars. Who cares? We'll find a way to crowdsource it. It don't matter. Like LA got that. Like that shit helps. That shit, like that's a difference maker. And you can imagine, like if it felt like the Bucs and we're in that giant community area there, and it was like you're going to a fucking event when you go to a Bucs game. Like when we went to a Dallas Cowboys game, thing, that whole fucking area there, we could have been there for 4 straight days and never once gone to the hotel, and it would have, like, that's what that should feel like, right? And you had the stadium there, and then we would go to Kansas City. You could walk from one game in the Chiefs stadium to the fucking whatever the fuck the other baseball team, whatever the baseball team is there, right? Like literally, they shared a parking lot. Then we went to Seattle. We dude, you could walk to the Mariners game. They had a playoff game going on.
Pittsburgh's the same way.
Pittsburgh's got the train comes right out of the fucking ass of the stadium. You walk right into downtown, into the fucking. They even had a goddamn casino right there. Like that's like when you left the game, you stayed. You stayed in the exact same area. So when you won, like you just that win carried out from the stadium into the entire street there, and like imagine that Tampa Bay chant after a win pouring down into a fucking giant area of venues and fucking food and drinks and shit, and like that stuff's like that builds that culture, man. That stuff's like, damn, I want to be a part of this shit. This is dope. Like we're in Pittsburgh, dude. That shit was addicting, man. The way they care, the way they carried themselves, like, and they didn't treat you like shit because you lost or they, you know, you were a different fan, but you were carrying. I'm like, god damn, dude, it's fucking dope as hell to live here. This is a cool ass place.
They can build that, and it is the ownership's responsibility. The Lightning game experience is significantly fucking better than the Bucs games experiences. They've done a lot to do that, to build that fan base. They do a lot for their fans too, but I don't know, man. Oh, what a crazy episode. Like I said, I'm shocked he came on. I am. I was like, are you sure? You sure you want to come on? But I'm going to have to go back and watch it. He dropped quite a few underlying gems there. At the end, when he was talking about the end of last year, how he got frozen out. And
yeah,
that's interesting.
I told you that just from watching what he was doing with the kickoffs.
That's interesting.
He's clearly like, yeah, there's some stuff there with him and Liam, I assume. There's some stuff there. Liam was kind of bought into the guy that he drafted, you know, quote unquote, with Bucky. Yeah. And so you kind of saw it towards the end of the season there. You could see they weren't even trying to get the ball to Rachaad. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to act like I know something. Maybe Rachaad went in and demanded the ball, or maybe he acted in an immature manner. I mean, he kind of alluded that he didn't handle things the right way.
Right.
That doesn't mean that he went in and like demanded anything. I think maybe I don't want to speak for him. I really don't know what he meant by that, but I don't think it's what people perceive. You know, oh, he went in there and made a problem in the room. I don't think he's not that guy. You know him, Stang. That's not his personality to go in there and
no, but he's a competitor and he wants the ball.
Yeah.
And especially when we're struggling, I'm sure he feels like he has the ability to help and do things. And if he didn't feel that way, I'd kind of be suspicious. He wants to contribute. He wants to be the guy. And
you don't want the Greg Gaineses of the world who are just happy standing at the line of scrimmage.
You know what? I've never even heard Greg Gaines talk. Never. Not even once.
It's funny.
Does he have press conferences? I have no idea.
They showed him on the big screen at that last game, and you said, and you nudge Zane and you go, he looks like a big baby with a beard. And ever since that moment, Zane cannot unsee it. And he tells me about it every couple days. He goes, remember when Stank said that guy looks like a big baby? He looks like a big baby with a beard.
Maybe he's a nice guy. All right. Okay. Maybe we need to get Greg Gaines on here.
Fuck him.
I want to know how he feels.
We need to go out this offseason and get all the players that we talk shit about. We need to go get all the guys that we talk shit about and have them come on here. Kate Otten, who else? Hassan Reddick, Greg Gaines. Who else we talk shit? Oh, Graham Barton. Definitely got to get Graham Barton on here. Yeah.
Bro, our interns are sleeping. Goodbye, whoever this person is. See ya. Anyways, yeah, man. Also, not a big Todd Bowles fan. Didn't really give him the love or support.
It felt like he alluded to maybe he thinks Todd shouldn't
kind of felt like that.
Too much.
It kind of felt like Todd's doing too much, and that we fired all these other coaches. We probably should have cleaned house. He did say that, which is didn't expect him to say that either. But I mean, we feel that. I've been saying that. I still kind of feel that way. It still feels like a weird fucking internal rebuild, which I don't know that's going to work.
It feels like there's something unfinished. It's weird. It's like this. We haven't quite turned the page on whatever chapter we're on. There's something waiting here to happen. It feels like the fact that they called John Harbaugh and talked to his people and explored that whole avenue after they'd already told Todd, according to Todd, that he was coming back. Todd's out there the next morning talking about with Rick Stroud. I'm been told I'm back for 2026. Meanwhile, there's clear reports. The Glazers called John Harbaugh last night. They're like, yeah, Todd, you're good to go. Todd leaves the office and they fucking pick up the phone and call John Harbaugh. What does that tell you? They're not extremely happy with Todd to do that.
According to Rondé, that's not how it went down. According to Rondé, and he said it's bullshit, and I kind of trust Rondé's in the building and he knows what's going on. It was the opposite. John Harbaugh's people reached out to us and to see what our interest was, and ultimately nothing was ever said.
It feels like a PR scrub.
Yeah, maybe, and nothing was ever. It could actually be a PR scrub, but and that no discussion was ever had about getting rid of Jason Light, and Rondé's a huge Jason Light guy. Huge fucking Jason.
Yeah, I don't think.
And he's like, Jason's not going anywhere, and we see it in the chat every show. People want to come after Jason. You guys are just gonna have to sit with that, because Jason Light isn't going anywhere. He'll be responsible for this season. He'll be responsible for a transition from this staff to a new coaching staff. If something does happen, he doesn't have all the power. He's got 4 bosses, 4 owners that ultimately take the temperature of the league and figure out if the timing is right, and if there's people out there that they think that can be the next wave for this franchise, and they didn't feel it now. And now they got 9 other teams out there searching for the guy. Maybe they were right from that perspective. Like, this is tough. Even if you find a guy you want, doesn't necessarily mean he wants you.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah. So,
but I said this on one of the other episodes. I said that the problem I have is that you have team in your division, the Falcons, who could go out there and get one of these good names. There are some good names out there, and now you're fucked. Because say next year falls apart and now you've got to hire, you're looking at this team that's gotten their guy in and has a whole year on ahead of you. And I'm not saying fire Todd Bowles and make Mike McDaniel your head coach. I don't think he's quite ready to be a head coach, and he showed that in Miami at times. But there are moments where you'd be like go get one of these offensive guys. And Clint Kubiak doesn't seem to have this head coach vibe that I was trying to talk about, and other people have said that. But
I don't see his name being bantered about.
It's not. It was, and then it stopped. Yeah. But like you see a guy like Ben Johnson, Like you get those type of vibes from his personality. You get the same thing from the guy in Houston, that OC. Nate Shieldhouse is the guy I really want as my OC. I know for a fact Jason likes that guy, loves him. I know from people who've coached with him, that've talked to me.
Well, he's interviewed.
He's a dude.
He interviewed for the OC position already. A lot of these guys out there.
Not this year, no. Last year.
Not this year. I'm saying last year.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys that are going to get potential interviews, we know because we've had them in house, and including Todd Monken, by the way, have had him in, for interview. I think when we end up hiring,
I'm holding out hope
Dave
that
instead,
after
but-
the Rams are eliminated, that Shieldhouse gets a secondary interview. I just think that you're not allowed to approach assistant coaches for coordinator positions until they're out of contention, unless you interview them for head coach position. I think that's the case because he hasn't been interviewed for one thing other than head coach interviews. So we'll see. That might be a weird workaround, but that's just me wishful hope. But before we go, Stank, I had a poll before the show started. It's got 234 votes right now. I asked who would be your top choice for the Bucs next OC: Todd Monken, Mike McDaniel, Zach Robinson, or other. Mike McDaniel with 56% of the vote.
Yeah, he's going to get a head coaching job.
I don't know, man. Sometimes those guys go from that and they kind of just want to take a breath and go kind of tackle an offense and kind of rebuild their name a little bit. I don't think his name is tainted.
Jeff Darlington seems to
keeps
be
tying
adamant
it.
that there's
Yeah.
a connection.
If it's so, my of the guys that they have interviewed, I would want Zach Robinson. Of the guys that they haven't interviewed, I think it's a tie between McDaniel and Shieldhouse, and I think I would give the edge to McDaniel because he has called plays. But I do think Shieldhouse one day will be that guy. But it's hard for I wonder who's actually making the calls on the guys they're interviewing now. Is it, let's get the guys that Todd likes out of the way first, and then I'm going to interview the guys that I like? Because I don't imagine a scenario where Todd would willingly want to hire a guy like Mike McDaniel, who immediately, once he has success, everybody around him at every Walmart, Publix, wherever the fuck he goes, is going to be clamoring for him to be the next head coach, right? You kind of don't want to hire your replacement.
Yeah, but I
don't know if it's his. I don't think it's his call, regardless. But
yeah, I heard somebody else speak on this, and I kind of felt the same way until I heard somebody say, like, why wouldn't you want a guy like that in the room to help you win? You need to fucking win, Todd.
I agree.
Like, if you have any hopes of being here for the next throughout your contract or whatever your goal is, because you've said at some point you want to retire as well. You want the best fucking candidate in here, even if he is a threat to you at some point. Because if you do go with lower hanging fruit, then it's almost a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. Like you need to get the best guy possible in this fucking room, and that may end up giving you the additional years you want. But
when you're a good leader, Stank, you tend to not want to be the smartest guy in the room and the best guy in the room at every single thing that you're a leader over. And you want to try to surround yourself with guys that are really good at their job and maybe better than you in different aspects of things, but you're still the leader. And that makes you a good leader because you're allowed to you enable these people. And those people usually have trust and loyalty to you because you've allowed them to grow and become who they are. And so I'm agreeing with what you're saying. You're supposed to lead that way. You're supposed to say, you know what? I'm going to get the best negotiator in this firm. I don't care if he's a better negotiator than me. I want the best negotiator. And it isn't me, but you know what? I'm his boss. And you know what? I'm going to lead him and make him better, even though he's good at certain things. I'm better at other things. Like, that's being a good leader. And I think when we brought BA was big on teachers as coaches. He brought in guys that he thought could teach and coach and actually like help these guys grow, because we never could do that. And it turned things around. Todd's missing those two aspects. He doesn't have teachers on his staff, and he doesn't bring in guys that challenge him. When you bring in guys that
BA brought in are still here, though.
Yeah, but a lot of those guys are also gone. A lot of those guys got purged the year after Byron was released. So a lot of those guys got taken away. And you need guys that challenge you. It's Todd. Like, Todd, I'm Todd Bowles. I'm running my defense this way. I should have positional coaches that work under me that challenge me. They say, you know what? Why don't we do this, coach? Tell me why. And you have to have that discussion, make you uncomfortable, because that's when you become better. And if he's going to be the one who calls plays, he should have guys that challenge his thinking to make him better.
I 1000% agree. Right. This is not an intelligent football team. And the guys, and we just saw, the defensive staff get purged. Highly recommend you Bucs fans go listen to the last Rondé Barber podcast, Barber show. He is not a big fan of Todd Bowles' defense. He comes out and says it. I'm not a big fan of his defense.
He said it all season.
It's too complicated. These guys don't know what they're doing, and they weren't being taught what to do, and they made it overcomplicated where they had to make decisions on the fly, and they had the same failures over and over and over again. It's obvious, but to hear Rondé come out and say that,
did you
watch in that building?
Did you watch the game last night?
Is damning to me.
Did you watch the Texans game last night?
Yeah,
I
watched it.
Okay. Did you notice what they were talking about when it related to how they play zone and man in that defensive scheme?
Yeah, I heard it.
I'd never fucking heard that before. You kind of teach some of that in basketball, so it wasn't like I'd never heard the concept like that. I just never heard it for an NFL defense. So that, we're not going to ask these guys to play man the entire play, and we're going to play man to a certain point, then you're going to hand off to the next guy, and then and it just seems so simple until it was so simple that these guys didn't even have to think. They were out there, and did you see the different speed these guys are playing at on defense versus what we see? It's like they're playing a completely different sport. It's like we were watching high school defense the whole time with the Bucs, and I'm watching the Texans. I'm like, God damn, these guys don't even look like they're thinking about anything. It's just like snap of the ball, go kill, and it was just like boom, 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 over and over again. And they were just fast and relentless and passing off guys.
Don't have that.
No gaps in coverage. It's just like holy shit.
We don't play nasty. We don't teach our guys to play nasty.
Yeah, but they're not even teaching them to play nasty. Right. They're just it's so simplified. They can be aggressive because they don't have to think too much. I don't got to think of 43 scenarios of what I have to do pre-snap and then post-snap.
And that's similar to
and
what
I just
Rondé said.
I was like you. I was thinking, man, they're teaching them how to play hardcore deep. These guys it must be fucking feeding them raw meat in practice. And the guy goes, it's just so simple. They don't have to think. And I'm like, God damn it, dude. That makes so much fucking sense.
That helps when you have a Will Anderson Jr. up there and your defensive line is absolutely swarming. And
I get it.
Everybody's got that hunger. They're feasting. They're feeding out there. We've seen defenses like that here in Tampa, where our defenses are an extension of our fucking offense, and we have to rely on that. It reminded me a shit ton watching the Houston play last night of what we've had to deal with here in the past, especially.
Did you just see their corners?
Years.
You see their corners? They don't give you inside leverage. They just refuse. Every play, they refuse to give you the inside slant. You're not getting it. I don't care what you do. You're not getting it.
But they know that the quarterback's got 4 seconds. Otherwise, he's going to get mauled.
Even when they dropped linemen into the coverages, there was a defensive lineman. There's no way he could have run after anyone who caught the ball, but he jumped into the exact spot of the hot route that Aaron Rodgers wanted to throw the ball, and he had no choice but to hold the ball, and he gets sacked by a backup defensive lineman because this guy just jumped. Like, people freak out when Todd Bowles puts guys in coverage. The reason we freak out about it is because Todd Bowles puts these guys in coverage, and there's no pass rush, and so now these guys are at a disadvantage. But that shit works if you get a pass rush. I mean, we saw Warren Sapp drop back. We saw Simeon Wright. Like, that shit works if you fucking, like, the Eagles did it to us for years. They blitz everybody and drop everybody back out, and Trent Dilfer would fucking shit his pants and fucking throw pick sixes. Like, that is not something new. But, man, just listening to how they explained it, I was like, God, it fucking clicked. I was like, God damn, dude. That's what Ronnie's been saying all season long. Make it simple for these guys. You are a pass rusher, go rush passer. You are a linebacker, go fill the fucking run gaps and cover running backs and tight end. Like, it shouldn't be that difficult. And I'm gonna watch it. I'm curious what he says beyond that because he said it all season long.
Yeah, so he has, but I don't know.
Expands on it.
The gloves are off right now. And I think everybody's kind of speaking their mind. And Rondé made it clear, that they needed guys out there that can teach the game better. But he also put some pressure on Jason and said they need some dogs. He needs to bring in, pass rushers. He said it, pass rushers, linebacker, more pass rushers, and then maybe even another corner. So it's going to be it's going to be up to Jason to infuse this defense with some dogs that can get to the quarterback, because without that, I think Todd just goes into his shell and sits back and tries to be protective and then has to get creative. And when he gets creative, it gets complicated. And when it's complicated, these guys just can't fucking handle it. And you see the same fucking breakdowns or different breakdowns over and over and over again. He even said a lot of times they look at each other. They don't even know which guy made the mistake because it's that complicated, because they're having to learn every position versus just doing their fucking job, which is, again,
I mean, it's
damning
also
as far as
tough.
I'm concerned.
It's also tough to have young players that you put into a defense that's that complicated when you know there's going to be mistakes had. And now on top of that, you kind of magnify or double down on that because now there's younger guys who are going to make mistakes anyway. And now their mistakes are massive mistakes because they're in a position where you don't really have someone behind them that's going to feel like it's just too much, man. They have too many responsibilities on any one set play. I thought they were more simplified the first few weeks of the season. I thought they played well at times, like really well. We're like, damn, this defense might be really good. And then I think the biggest thing, Stank, with his defense is that a guy like Antoine Winfield Jr. can just be invisible for almost an entire season somehow. And I don't think that's Antoine. I'm not dissing him whatsoever.
I agree.
This defense has somehow allowed a guy as talented as him to not be even on the field. Like the teams didn't even have to figure out ways to throw the ball around him because he was taken out because of how bad the other coverages were around him, to where we don't need to worry about Antoine. He's way the fuck over there. Don't worry. They don't have linebackers. We don't got to worry about Antoine. To where, like, if you have a guy that talented who's a playmaker, guy gets hands on balls, like he's a magnet. For him to be invisible, that's on the coach.
It is on the coach. But they've got to get this guy some fucking, something to work with. You were counting on Cansey and Vita to be the engine for this defense, and Cansey goes down. It's just not. The problem is the decisions that were made weren't enough. And then as we've said, the guy that all these players. They're alluding to guys need to want it. It was Hassan Reddick. Okay.
100%.
Hassan Reddick, check the fuck out.
100%.
The quote he came out with where he was talking about sometimes I feel like I'm out there by myself. That's fucking crazy, bro.
You know what's crazy? He was out there by himself most of the time.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy. Like, I feel bad for him. And I think the one thing I will take away from this season is there are young guys on this team that have it's click with them that they have to be leaders. They have to be vocal. A guy like Yaya now saying these things publicly tells me that he's ready to yell at some people in the locker room and not be this, guy who's sitting back trying to be nice. He's a fun-loving, he's a fucking awesome guy. But, it takes a certain, I don't know what it is, a certain anger to finally make you fucking rise up and say, fuck this. I'm going to hold everybody around me to this. Like Michael Jordan was an asshole to his teammates. You got to be an asshole to your teammates sometimes. Stink, I'm an asshole to you every single fucking day. Every day I talk to you, I am a complete asshole to you. And can you look me in the eye and tell me I haven't made you better?
I think you have made me better. Yeah, you made me appreciate the good people I have in my life. Like you're just.
But look how centered you are tonight.
You're the yin. You're the yang. All right. Sometimes you need the dark to appreciate.
There's no Aladdin without Jafar.
Has he ever thrown a chair at you, Stank?
You know what? My attorney says I can't comment on that on this podcast. So,
oh damn.
Noted. I love how Izzy just came in there.
What you guys don't know is behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Samer got something cooking. All right. Listen, everybody needs a chair.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Everybody needs a chair.
Everybody needs a chair. Right. Mm-hmm. Right now, you look. Everybody watching this podcast. We have 200 people watching. Thousands of we watching the show.
Crew captain.
Ask yourself. Do you need a chair right now?
It's not a white hat. It looks white because I got this amazing production thing going on in front of me. It's actually a cream beige type of hat. It's pretty dope. I don't like white hats. I don't like anything white on me, if I'm being honest. Stank, I'll ask you one last question. Who do you prefer to be that OC?
Stank is Samer's Patrick to his SpongeBob?
Yeah. I'm more like Mr. I'm kind of more like
Mr. Krabs.
No, I'm not cheap like that.
The octopus. The
Squidward?
Squidward.
No,
Squidward?
No, I'm not
Mrs.
Squidward.
Puff?
No, what's the fucking what's the green dude? What's the little
Plankton?
Plankton. Yeah, I love Plankton.
He's Plankton.
Oh, you are Plankton. You want the fucking Krabby Patty formula.
You know what? The eyebrows and everything. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Cody says I'm racist. You can say that, Cody. You're entitled to your opinion.
Hey, he is. He is.
Sandy cheeks.
Also,
you think
I have a
You think SpongeBob's hitting Sandy?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Thinking
that's
about
lore.
It. Hold
That's
on.
lore.
Why did you answer that so
Yeah.
quickly? You've been
That's
thinking
the
about
lore.
it.
What kind of fan
Like, that's
fiction
the
do you
lore.
read? That is the lore?
That's the
How
lore
do you
that.
even know that
Where
that's lore?
Trust me,
I could venture to guess what corners. I could venture to guess what corners of the internet Izzy is visiting.
Oh, I don't
Yikes.
visit. They pop up on the feed, and I'm like, what the hell is this?
All right,
on the
Izzy,
feed.
answer this question.
Whoa.
How come Mr. Krabs has a daughter who's a whale? Can you answer that?
That's a good
Adoption.
question. Adoption. Here it is.
She's a big ass whale too. She's like that fat girl that don't know she's fat.
Oh my god.
We love
Oh.
fat girls. On the
Also,
side.
Nah,
oh,
nah.
I have a defensive tackle crush that I need the Bucks to get. His
Hmm?
name is Uso Seumalo.
Next to Vita Vea.
He's amazing. He's
Leo.
amazing. No. He needs to study under Vea. He needs to. They would be the best of friends, okay? All
Who's
right.
Vea?
You guys remember that name. Remember that name.
Who's Vea?
And then you Oh, sorry. I say all the names wrong. Just go with it.
Pearl, yeah,
Go with
Pearl's
it.
her name.
By the way,
All right.
I have to make this comment. Izzy, we had a co-host on here and you didn't mute your mic. I didn't like it. I don't want to hear you giggling like a schoolgirl when we make fun of Josh Grizzard. Okay? That goes for both
I
of
didn't
you.
even
actually.
hear it. I didn't even
heard
hear
it.
it.
It bothered me. I can't stop
He
thinking
giggled?
about it. Yeah, he giggled.
I laughed a little bit. I'm sorry, but like no one can see me on this show.
Oh, so you had to make yourself heard. See that?
I mean, like at least
selfish.
like, hey,
Selfish behavior.
I didn't hear the giggling. I was
Mr.
locked in.
Krabs' girl was not faithful. You think Mr. Krabs is raising somebody else's child?
Yeah, see that I don't believe she's I don't believe
He wouldn't
she's
do that.
adopted.
He's a cheap ass motherfucker. You think he's gonna just give up money for someone
No.
else's kid?
I think
No way, no.
he got his he crabbed up in a whale and
He went up. He got up in the wrong blowhole one night, and
he sure
there's
did.
some consequences for that,
He
right?
sure did. He fucking
He
sure
crawled
did.
out of that blowhole the next morning, thinking, "Oh fuck, there'd be some consequences." This
Listen,
bad
if you
decision."
guys have any other questions about SpongeBob, super chat. We can talk. You know what? I got time.
Can't trust Izzy anymore. He said Stroud is better than Lamar. Drunk posting on Twitter this morning. Here's the thing, Cody. He doesn't even drink. So he was
No.
just dumb tweeting, if you want to call it. Dumb posting
hold
on
on.
Twitter.
I don't drink. I got proper 12 inside my fridge right now. I got Jack Daniels on my drawer.
I bought
Come
you
on
the
now.
most expensive chocolate, whatever the fuck that thing was, the fruitiest drink I've ever seen. And you took 2 sips of it, and I was like, damn it.
Izzy, I tried. You know what? You were on. I think you were in dad mode in Seattle because
I was.
I was gonna try to get you drunk, but you weren't having it.
No, you weren't having it.
Also,
What was that drink you got? That thing was.
It was like a tequila type of shit. It was
it
a
had
tequila
like
drink.
33 colors. And it was like all the fruits.
It was a vodka tequila type of mix, but it had like
was-
pineapple, coconut, and some other stuff in it.
It cost like $39. Just so you know.
All I know is me and Vixen made many trips to the bar, and you weren't there.
It's all about the rum.
Actually, if I go back and think about
Where's the
this,
rum gone?
in that place that we watched, in that place that we did our party, and then we did the
Yeah.
tailgate, then we went back after the game.
Yeah, that place was fun.
I don't
It
remember
was.
seeing Izzy at all during any one of those 3 moments. I saw
He
him
was
after
next
we
door-
went
He was next door
outside.
at the strip club. He was at the strip club next door.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They must have had a
Wink,
cartoon.
wink.
He went to the cartoon strip club.
He was at the. He
Did
was
you
at the
guys have any
Miss Puff's
cartoon
strip club.
squirrels performing tonight? Like, no, we don't have any
we did-
Sandys.
We
And
did see
that would
we
be a
did
good
see a
stripper name,
cat
Sandy.
performing an
Welcome to the
accordion at the
stage.
public market.
Oh,
He looks like a
yeah,
cough
yeah.
medicine guy. Mixes it with his cherry Kool-Aid while eating McDonald's. I think
We
think
also
so.
had a dance off.
Clean?
It was
Jeez
the
Louise.
stank from our viewers. For you and I were the viewers of said dance off. Was that not the most pathetic dance off we've ever witnessed?
Excuse you.
No,
Excuse
it was
you.
they were doing the thing. Listen, you can't dance. You can't talk about dancers. Right.
What do you mean? Those who can't teach, or those who can't do teach, right? So I would absolutely be a great judge of.
I
How
feel
would
like-
you know how to judge if you can't yourself be terrible at dancing?
Listen, I feel like with
Think
the
about
right
that.
with the right mountain meth, I can get you to dance.
The right amount of mountain meth.
Yeah, Sammer did meth in West Virginia.
No, I
Did
did
you know
not.
that? Yes, he
Hey
did.
yo.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
I
did.
did not.
Yes, he did. He did meth.
No, nope. That was not meth, man.
That was West
Pure
Virginia
white
meth.
lightning, my friend.
Nope. That was toothpaste.
No, he did meth.
All right. Make sure you guys hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and find us on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, and Pornhub. And check us out on
And
Loose Cannons Live.
Nickelodeon.
Yeah, apparently we're on Nickelodeon at night. Nick at night.
Nick.
Check us out on loosecannonslive.com. And man, we got a long off season, Stanker. Got a long off season.
We do. I gotta go back and there's gonna be a lot of clips from this episode. Because like I said,
we've been on here for almost 2 hours tonight, by the way. Like we've been gone for
This is
7
one of
days
the
and we're
more
making
longer
up
Oh
for it.
man,
We are making up for it.
Spotify's gonna hate me.
Yep. I will say you guys should be ready. We got another fun one coming, I think, later this week with a current Bucs player. Not a in between, maybe still a Bucs player. I don't know, whatever you want to call Rachaad, I guess. But
he didn't completely close the door.
No. You never know, man. Like, it's not always greener, right? That what they say. So
They do say that.
you go out there, you see what it feels like, and he might be, hey, I want a different opportunity because I want to prove what and be used properly, and maybe they come back and say, hey, we
Did
have
you
a
get the
scenario where
feeling?
we are going to use you properly? Would
Yeah.
you come back? We never know.
Did you get the feeling Rachaad and Zach Martin talk? Not Zach
Who?
Martin. Who's fucking Zach Robinson? Right? He feels like, you know what? If Zach's in the building, maybe Zach puts his fucking.
You mean
dick on the table. He's
Bijan
like,
Robinson?
Zach Robinson, the fucking OC from Atlanta. Isn't that his name? Am I tripping right now?
No, it is Zach Robinson.
Oh, okay.
That's who you're
Well,
hard time.
you never know. Zach could come in here and be like, I'm only coming if Rachaad stays. So, never
I
know.
mean, you never know, man. But hey, no matter what, go get that money, dude. Go get it.
I
NFL
agree.
makes way too much money for players to not go chasing a bag. Dude, that's all I would do. I would have 1-year contracts until I got a big, and I would just be trying to. I think I'd probably have. I'd probably. Yeah, I'd probably hold out every single season, Stink. Every season.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
I deserve more. But you just signed a I deserve more.
All right, end this
Voidable, whatever you want to call
end the show. End the show. I got to go take a shit.
it.
Wow.
Just like that.
There now, you guys. Those of you who've been asking how long can Saint go between shits, he can barely go to 2-hour point. Once it hits
2 hours
around
is
that,
my limit, dude.
yeah, he's gotta poop.
It is
He's gotta
my
poop.
limit.
He's gotta poop.
I got
Go
to
Bucks.
It's kickoff, set it off. Go to Vegas, bet it all. Put it on the Bucs win, whoever they gon' play gon' fall. Don't say I ain't told y'all. Loose cannons gon' fold y'all. Yeah, the Heat be 9-3, but it gets real cold in the fall. That's when the season start. Bucks come in 40 hard. Win after win, ripping the division.